Okay, I'm going to dive straight into it. This is how to build a 20k a month personal brand without having to go viral, without having to get a load of followers. Okay, you can literally do this with less than 1,000 followers. So if you're watching this video, you understand that personal branding is an insanely good way to get clients in 2025. People come in, they understand who you are, they understand what your offer is, they understand that you're the person to help with their problems. Okay, all the calls I have, people come to the calls understanding who I am, understanding how I can help. It makes my life a lot easier. Maybe you've even built up a bit of an audience yourself, right? Maybe you're posting consistent Instagram content. Maybe you've dabbled a bit in YouTube. Maybe you've even gotten a few clients, but the question you might now be asking yourself is, why are you not consistently making 20k a month, 30k a month, 50k a month from your personal brand, from your content? We're going to answer that question today. The thing is, qualified views do not matter if you can't shift beliefs. You can be posting content, all right? You can be posting YouTube content, you can be getting views, you can be getting followers, but if you aren't able to change those people's perceptions, change those people's beliefs, they're not going to move any closer to buying with you, okay? If you can't change the way they think about themselves, the way they think about you, the way they think about your offer, never going to make that purchasing decision. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact system I use to build 20k a month personal brands for both me and my clients without having to go viral, without having to post every single day, but instead by simply shifting people's beliefs, building trust with your existing audience, and installing a simple, scalable content system that moves people from simply watching your content to wanting to work with you. First thing we're going to dive into is the attention trap. And this is where a lot of people that I have calls with are. They think what personal branding is just getting a load of qualified viewers to watch their content and somehow that's going to translate into clients. It's the first step, don't get me wrong, but that is not the full story. So most creators think more qualified followers equals more money, and it's simply not the case. So what they'll do is they'll post a load of value content that gets their target avatar to follow them. For example, if they're a fitness coach, they'll post a load of workouts and get a load of people who are interested in workouts following them. But they're still unable to convert them into paying clients. And that is because there is a big difference between attention and trust. You can be giving out free value, but if you aren't building trust with those people, you're never going to create that buying intent within them. For example, I've had posts that have had 3k views, generated me 5k. Meanwhile, this video, 10k likes and 150,000 views, absolutely no buyers came from this video. Unqualified traffic, people that just aren't interested in my offer. So it's not a matter of how much reach you can get, it's a matter of how you change your audience's perceptions. If you have 100,000 people that follow you who kind of like your content, they're kind of interested in what you have to sell, right? If you're a bodybuilding fitness coach and you make general motivational fitness content, maybe you attract some swimmers, you attract some bodybuilders, you attract some runners, you have a very mixed bag of your audience and you're not specifically speaking to one person, okay? What you need is 1,000 people who actually care about what you have to say. And they see you as the only solution to their problem. Again, in this example, just attract bodybuilders. You just attract your specific target avatar. You speak directly to them. That's how you build a personal brand that sells. And I'm going to break it down in a bit more detail. So the 4 elements of a magnetic brand that actually converts: a belief building brand. So first is insightful POV. I haven't really heard many people speaking about this, but your story is the only thing that separates you from other people in your industry. All of the value itself is copy and paste. Only thing you can't copy and paste, and the only thing that people can't copy from you, is your story, your personal journey so far. For example, let's say you have 2 weight loss coaches. They're going to have very different journeys. So as a result, they're going to have very different insight on the problems at hand. It's going to attract a very, very specific crowd of people who resonate with your story, who relate to you specifically. And this is exactly what you want to do. You want to leverage your insight, your unique story. Gary Vee and Alex Hormozi are very similar creators in the sense that they talk about business and stuff like that. But Gary Vee started in wine. I think it was like a vineyard or something, his dad's wine shop. So they have very different origins and they both leverage in order to create very unique brands. Secondly is the unique mechanism. Packaging your unique system, your unique way of doing things into something brandable and owned. I like to think of it as like a software, like installing the creator acquisition system. When we're creating our offer positioning statement, so I help, Z must be unique. You must package your system in a way that they can't get it anywhere else. You're the only person who can offer that solution. So I'm the only person on the internet creator acquisition system that we use in CreatorX. Okay. You cannot get that anywhere else. It is my unique mechanism. It's branded and I own it. Number 3 is visual and verbal. This is things like your fonts, colors, and branded phrases. For example, if I was to show you this content, I don't know about you guys, but I'd instantly know that's Matt Gray. Same with this, I'd instantly know that's Dan Coe. If I saw these sunnies and this cigar, I'd instantly think of the bald Bugatti man, right? Same goes with phrases. If you hear certain phrases, you think of certain creators. When people see your stuff or they hear your content, you want them to know that it's you, even without seeing your face. If I saw Alex Hormozi's wife beater and hat, I'd know it was him. And when you do that, your content becomes a world. Okay, you're not just giving out value, you're creating an experience, you're creating a unique corner of the internet, and that's how you create a magnetic brand. So we've gone over your unique insight, your unique mechanism, the way that you brand your value, your visuals and your actual verbals, and then your core ideology. When we're creating our ideology, we're thinking, who is this for? What are they trying to move away from? For example, in the content creation space, some people might want to edit less. Okay, so that's what they're moving away from. Some people might want to move away from cold DMs. That might be their thing. They spent loads of time doing cold DMs. They want to move away from that now. They want to edit less. What are they trying to move away from? What are they moving towards? Some people want to have more time to be creative. Some people want to spend more time with family. Some people want to make as much money as possible. Okay, these people have different goals. They have different ideologies. So you need to target in and dial in on a specific thing. All right. Magnetic brands repel the masses and convert the few. You need to dial that in so that you're not just a general brand that appeals to everyone. Because if you appeal to everyone, you appeal to no one. So now we've got the foundations of our brand in place. We want to install the belief engine. And this is the actual content that is going to create high ticket buyers, even if you have a small audience. Okay. So it's not about having a big audience, but what you say to that audience, the journey you take them on to get them from a complete stranger to a ready to buy viewer. Attention, shift, proof, depth, and conversion. Attention content, exactly what it sounds like. Okay, we're grabbing the attention of our ICP. This is the first step. Use unique pain. If you say a very, very specific pain point, like, are you sick of eating like horrible flavored protein in the gym while you're trying to put on muscle? That's a very specific pain point. Essentially, what we're trying to do here is grab the attention of our ICP, make them aware that we're there, make them aware that we are a creator who understands what they're trying to do. Once we have their attention, once we have them following us, consuming our content, we want to change the way they think. And we do this by breaking their paradigms or creating paradigm shift. We want to expose the flawed logic in the way they're currently doing things. So for example, in this video, I've said, you don't want to build a personal brand by getting loads of views and then trying to monetize. Okay. Instead, you want to position yourself correctly. You want to create the right types of content to create an organic customer journey, changing the way that you're currently doing things to the way that you need to. And when I do that, when you change the way someone thinks about what they're doing, they see you as an authority figure. They see you as someone who knows better. And what you can also do here is position your unique mechanism as the solution. We're grabbing people's attention. We're making them realize that they're doing things wrong and they need to listen to us for advice. Once they're aware of our solution, we can hit them with some proof content. So testimonials, screenshots. We're not going to flex here. We're just going to make them understand that our solution works and we're not just chatting bollocks, basically like 90% of the people on the internet. We can then go in more depth. So things like long form YouTube videos like this, okay? Story content on Instagram, raw emails, school posts, etc. This sort of content, when you hear the word nurture, this is the sort of content I mean. Content that makes people trust you over time. Watching your long form videos, spending half an hour with you at a time, watching your stories every day on Instagram, reading your emails, you're creating depth. And then finally, it's conversion content. They understand your offer, they know it's legit, and they've been watching your content for a while. They understand who you are, they understand how you can help them, they understand that you are the guy to do it. Conversion content's actually quite easy, right? A lot of people think like, oh, I don't want to promote myself. I don't want to be, this salesy guru type on Instagram. You don't have to be. Your content does the heavy lifting and pre-sales for you. So by the time you get to this point, it's an invitation, call to action on your story saying, if you want to, you can join. You've seen how it works. You've seen that it does work. You've seen how we operate. If you want to join, you can. So your content should make the next step of joining your program or your agency feel obvious. This is exactly what we did with Rob, right? So Rob was one of my clients. We started at 0 followers. Yeah, 7K a month inconsistently, right? He had no real brand identity. His content was TikTok B-roll videos. He wasn't really doing anything with it. And he had no system to get someone from watching his TikTok content to actually wanting to buy his high ticket mentorship. What we did is we created a unique element to his offer. We branded it correctly. We created belief-driven YouTube reels and stories using the belief engine. And by doing this, as well as a few other things, which I go over in my other content, he's now on 45K a month. But he had the exact same audience, okay? We were building the exact same audience, but the way that we were building trust, the way that we engineered that customer journey meant that he was able to extract 45K a month from his audience. Thing is, if you made it this far, if you're watching this sort of content online, you already understand the majority of these concepts. You already know that you need the right offer, the right content, the right systems to convert people with your personal brand. Content on its own does not get you paid, as I've just been through. Building belief, building trust with your audience do. And once you do that, it doesn't matter how many people are in your audience because your content is doing a heavy lifting. Okay, your brand becomes a machine. So if you want to build a brand that actually invites the right people into your world, keeps them there, gets them interested, and then converts them, you can either DM me 33 on Instagram. We literally work one-to-one with everyone we bring on to make sure that they have the right brand, the right offer, and the right content engine to build belief and convert buyers. You can join the free school community below. We post free trainings in there. We have weekly breakdowns, early access to YouTube videos as well. So even if you don't want the free playbook, get early access to YouTube videos. If not, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm in this new office now, so I'm going to be uploading a bunch of new content. Also going to be dropping the Creator Acquisition System series that takes you from a complete beginner to having a 6-figure personal brand. Keep an eye out for that. Hope you took some value from this video. There's going to be another one on the weekend, and I will catch you soon. Peace.